What's up, guys? ArtistVersion1 here, and welcome to another episode of the Three-Way Dance Wrestling Podcast. And of course, you can't have the three-way dance unless there's three of us. So joining me as always is Shelby, aka Shubs.
Hey, yo.
And with me always is Mr. Roboto himself, Nick.
Hello.
Oh my God, it worked this time. Hey, all right. So we have a packed show for you tonight. Of course, we got some news. We're going to play It Came From eBay. And the meat of our show is that we're going to count down our top 10 favorite matches, not necessarily the greatest matches. Although my list is probably not that oddball this time around. Usually I'm probably the odd man out, but mine is actually somewhat sane this time. But our favorite matches here. Of course, we got the Sports List of the Week, which is going to be in theme there, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I don't have any little bits of info to start. I do have one bit of info. Like we mentioned last week, me, Nick, and Shelby here, we do this for fun and everything like that. But always in the description down below, I do put my PayPal, Cash App, and what's the other one? Venmo. And I just want to let you guys know that if you ever feel that you want to leave a tip or something, you can leave it down there, and it will get split three ways between the three of us. That is why the three-way dance, because Shelby and Nick are as part of this show as I am. So if you ever leave, so for instance, you leave a $10 donation towards the show, I will divide that equally between the three of us. Just know that they will get their cut, because Shelby's already tried to shake me down thinking I'm holding them out.
Is that an American or Canadian?
I will give you the Canadian equivalency.
Wait, that means we're going to get ripped off.
Not necessarily. Okay. I think the dollar might be all right.
Is it?
Now.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't pay attention to that part of the news.
Okay, you'll get your goddamn cut if somebody ever leaves us something for this. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into the news here, because there's some big news here. So the first one I want to point out here is that it's been noted. Oh, excuse me. It has been noted that the draft is coming back.
Oh my God! Really?
Oh.
Yeah. Supposedly, I think I read that it's coming back in August.
Why don't they just do like the odd trade here and there? Wouldn't that make more sense than to do
Or
like a
drop
draft?
half the bloated roster and then just completely disintegrate.
Wow, they're already on their way to doing that anyways.
The first time they did like a quote unquote shakeup is when Bischoff and Heyman, they did the fucking lottery balls. Do that.
Yeah.
That was fun. I
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, where it was anything goes, anybody's up for grabs.
Yeah,
and Paul Heyman got drafted.
Referees, GMs.
Exactly.
Announcers.
That way. Instead of just like, all right, everybody's back in the bowl and we're just gonna fucking start shifting people again, because we'll get to how that worked out for some people later, but all right. I knew that wouldn't take long. Why I hit that first. The next one here, we actually mentioned this young lady on one of our, I think our second or first episode, I believe, here, and that is Kylie Rae. Smiley Kylie Rae is back in the news because she's back to wrestling again, and this time she is signed with NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, to which I'm just like, I'm just pulling a Regis Philbin here. I'm just like, is that your final answer?
That's exactly what I thought when I read that. I was like, okay, but are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? And then I saw she won the match, and I was like, but wait. There's no crowd yet.
Wait.
I hope
there's more.
I hope it'll be okay for her this time.
And apparently there was no heat with Impact. Apparently Impact was just like, okay, cool, we'll let you go sign with NWA, no hard feelings and such like that. And apparently she did apologize to the women of Impact for essentially abandoning them back last year.
Right.
So, I mean,
I hope Billy Corgan gets the return on his investment ultimately.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, overall, I like Kylie Rae's work. I mean, people call it a Bailey ripoff. I mean, I can kind of see where they say that, you know. But I like the whole Kylie Ray thing. I think she's adorable. I think she's cute, you know. But I understand that she has problems upstairs, you know, and that's fine. But
Who
it's just
doesn't?
like exactly. But like, damn, this is the second time you've done it now,
Yeah.
you know. All right.
Well,
And side
wait,
note about the NWA, JTG wrestled at their pay-per-view this Saturday. So, or Sunday.
doesn't it stand for just that God now?
Oh, it should.
GAWD.
God.
It should. You know. All right, and the next one here, Vice TV, who airs the show Dark Side of the Ring, which
Yes.
we have a question on that later. But they are producing a China documentary, which is funny because China was originally supposed to be a part of season 3 of Dark Side of the Ring before they canceled that episode, and now we know why, because they are producing I believe they said, a 2-hour documentary on China, and it is actually going to include some of the footage. I don't know if they're going to include the footage of them finding the body, but it is going to include some of the footage of the documentary that the guy was I don't know the guy's name, but the footage that the guy was making for the resurrection of China or whatever it was called.
Oh.
So are you guys looking forward to the China documentary?
Maybe not as much as some of the other episodes of Dark Side of the Ring, but I'd give it a watch for sure.
I mean, given how well they do with some of the Dark Side of the Ring episodes, yeah, I'm truly looking forward to this.
I'm very interested in seeing this.
Yeah.
Given how they've done the others.
Yeah,
Which,
because
by the way, that last episode,
yeah, we have a
my
question on it later. We have a question on it later. But yeah, because I was a huge China mark. You know, people always say, "Oh, she looked like a man" and shit like that. You know, she
No,
looked
she
like a
didn't.
man.
She's not Nicole Bass.
I know.
Well,
You know, well, I
Damn.
will say in her early days, she did look a little mannish, but then she went out and had her jaw restructured, and you know, she became fire. You know, so I was always a China mark. So it was sad when she died. So I'm kind of looking forward to this thing. You know, like Shelby said, I'm probably looking forward to it more than others. But all right,
I said the opposite.
that's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to it more than others, whereas you're not.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
All right, now we have some major news coming from the Evolution.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Next week.
Yeah, Eva Marie. I love you guys' reaction to this story. Eva Marie is going to debut on Raw next week, but the story is that she may have some muscle with her, and the muscle with her may be NXT UK's Piper Niven. That seems to be the rumor innuendo.
Yeah,
I've also heard Mercedes Martinez.
They've actually come out and said that it's leaning more towards Piper Niven now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I'm like, because listen, okay. This is gonna sound really, what's the word I'm looking for here? Shallow. But like when you look at Eva Marie and you look at Piper Niven, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things
Isn't that kind of the point in putting those two together, though? You have like a big motherfucker defending like a little Barbie doll type idea.
But that's not.
But with Eva Marie's character, I just don't see her pairing up with somebody. Because Piper Niven, don't get me wrong, I love Piper Niven. She's fantastic wrestler and everything, but with Eva Marie's character, I just don't see her like let's imagine that wrestling's not a work. Okay, let's live in this fantasy world where everything we saw on TV was real. All right, Eva Marie comes out next Monday on Raw with Piper Niven. Do you really believe that Eva Marie would hang out with somebody like Piper Niven?
Absolutely not.
My point exactly.
every friend circle has the fat friend.
Not true.
No.
Nope.
I mean,
I will attest to that now. It is not true.
okay.
Well,
I mean, my friend circle has all fat
but you know
people.
what they say. If you say that, if you're like, hey, we don't have that, inter-stereotype here, more than likely you're that stereotype. So
Yep.
you're probably the fat friend in your group.
Hey, I'm pretty sure we all
I
are
am
fat in my group. So
nowhere near fat.
that's
I mean,
very true when it comes
I'm
to
not even anywhere near PHAT. So I mean,
you might be
Oh.
PHAT. Let's be honest.
okay, minor, I guess. I don't know.
All right. And now let's address the elephant in the room, and that is last week, I believe the day the podcast went up, as a matter of fact. I think as the podcast was airing, this happened, and that is 6 names were released from WWE. And this is not your usual round of releases where it's like, oh yeah, a couple of these guys weren't used on TV for a while. Some of these were like competing like a couple days before, and they were released. So let's start at the bottom and go up. And the first one is former WOW Women of Wrestling champion Santana Garrett, which, oh God, every time I just saw Santana Garrett on TV, whether it be jobbing to somebody or something, I just said, poor Santana Garrett. Because she's so good, and WWE just did not use her. I mean, wasted potential is something that we say about a lot of people who come into the WWE, but this is definitely one of them, because Santana Garrett is just phenomenal, and nobody in the WWE, like anybody who watches WWE and doesn't watch like the indie stuff, like WOW or shit like that, has no idea what Santana Garrett is capable of because of WWE.
Yeah, they really kind of botched the whole time she was in the company over, like, and like when you think about like Mandy Rose or like some of what we have got, you could have used Santana Garrett for so much, and yet now she is gonna be a free agent.
Yeah.
I just can't. Ah.
And I'm sure Shelby knows dick about Santana Garrett, correct?
Who?
My point exactly. All right.
Well,
and the next one here is one that I personally am upset about, and that is Murphy, aka Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
I'm upset about that one too.
Yeah, because this was a guy, like, when he was in NXT, when he was part of that Blake and Murphy tag team, I could have gave 2 fucks about him. But when he came up to 205 Live and was having these banging matches with people, I was like, oh, okay, I get this guy now. He pulled an Humberto Carrillo on me, man. This guy was having stellar matches, so when they moved him to Raw, I'm like, okay. They did nothing with him. Then they moved him to SmackDown. I'm like, okay, okay, now they're gonna do something with him. And they did something with him for like a little bit. They put him in a great match with Roman Reigns and one with Daniel Bryan. Then they did nothing with him. Then they moved him to Raw again. And that's when they finally did something with him. He became Raw Tag Team Champion, and he became Rollins and
the Disciple.
The Disciple. Then they moved him back to SmackDown, and then he had that big story with the Mysterios, which for a time I was just like, if I have to see Rey and Dominic Mysterio fight fucking Seth Rollins and Murphy one more time, I'm gonna break something in this goddamn house. But then they actually turned it into something different. They paired him with Aaliyah Mysterio. And then it all unraveled from there. Then they even talked about pairing up Murphy and Blake again, which I'm like, no, dear God, no. Then they shit can Blake. So, like, I think Murphy is just somebody that, like, he could have been, like, their Daniel Bryan without Daniel Bryan.
I mean, I don't know about that, but, like, I really wish that they continued on. I really wish they continued on the Seth Rollins thing with him. Like, I really like that storyline and like Seth Rollins being like a mentor to him and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Well, they even actually last time I remember seeing Murphy on SmackDown, which wasn't very long ago, he was he was trying to embrace the vision of Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And then I think he had a match with, I think it was a match with Rey Mysterio.
No, Cesaro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I mean, Murphy was also the victim of the Paul Heyman executive director of Raw snafu, because when he had the whole thing with Aleister Black, like the terrific match series they had,
Yeah.
that was all Heyman's doing. Like that was when Humberto Carrillo was getting TV time the first time too.
Yeah. A lot of guys are getting TV time because of Paul Heyman, but
Andrade,
Yeah.
Apollo Crews, even though he's up there again, Korea,
Cedric
and
Alexander.
Cedric Alexander. Even though I can't stand them, but whatever.
Okay.
All right, so the next one that was released was part of a tag team, because WWE got rid of 2 tag teams here essentially, and that was Ruby Riott, which that was a name that kind of came as a surprise. The next 4 names were really surprising. Like Murphy, I saw why they did it, as well as Santana Garrett. Like those are 2 names that, like, if it were any other day, without the other 4 names that we're about to talk about, I could be like, oh, okay, I see why they did that. But like these next 4 names, I was just fucking gobsmacked by. And the first one being Ruby Riott, who was part of the Riott Squad, and they just competed. We released the podcast last Wednesday, and they competed on that Friday.
And they were trying to push the Riot Squad, or they were trying to push the idea that the Riot Squad could move towards the women's tag titles. So now they've canned Ruby, and I'm like, oh.
And
She
according
has to go back to
to
being Heidi Lovelace again. So I mean, that's good.
and according to some reports, that when she got the call that she was being released, she broke down crying.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Pulled a Drake Maverick there.
Only didn't film it so that she could get rehired.
I know, right? Work for Maverick.
She fucked
man.
up.
Yeah, work for Maverick.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, with Ruby Riott gone, I'm just, that's another women's tag team that they have already destroyed, and they're about to destroy another one that we'll get to. But I'm just like, in a division that's already, let me take Brian Zane's word from Wrestling with the Red here, in a division that's already anemic as it is.
Oh.
You've already tore up another team without even fucking doing anything, which leads us into our next release, which is this one. I'm actually really surprised, and that is Lana.
Knowing that Lana will end up with Miro in AEW, I'm very surprised they did it.
That's what I'm like. I'm just like, because, I mean, let's all admit, when Lana started out, like, actually in the ring, she was not the best wrestler. Let's put it. And even now, she was not the best wrestler. But she showed improvement and everything. But again, they broke up another tag team because she had this thing with Naomi going. I mean, sure, it was a stupid fuck tag team, but whatever. Plus, she was like one of their like hottest selling women they had. I mean, yeah, she didn't do much, but like people lined up for Lana.
Yep.
When people were actually there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that came as a surprise to me.
And it's like I said, you basically they basically just gave her to AEW because, like, I mean, I'm sure they have already thought at AEW, oh, we can book Miro, and well, I guess she'll have to be CJ Perry versus Kip and Penelope.
Oh God!
Boom! Here we go.
Or what if they just drop? What if they just drop the L and they just make her Anna?
Anna. That could work, actually. Miro
or they could just reverse the name, make her Arnold.
Oh
God! Now you're losing it.
They're not going to name her Anal, so they got to make it something a little bit more, So,
you don't know that. They might.
Arnold.
They might name her that. You don't know.
Anal is all elite. I can see it now.
try that and it just wouldn't work? Everybody in the crowd be chanting, anal, anal, anal.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Joey Janela runs out. Oh, wait.
God damn it, don't say it. All right. Coming up next here is Aleister Black was released, who prior to his release just made his return to television after 6 months of being absent and was let go.
They had just spent weeks with these vignettes and the chapter of the Dark Father and all this kooky bullshit nonsense and brought him back to TV in the main event, nonetheless, no less. So the main event of a SmackDown, an Intercontinental title match. He costs Big E the championship. You take them both off TV, and then you fire the guy you've been building up for 2 months. Wow. Like, why? You could have fired, like, Jackson Riker, because we know how that face turns.
That's why.
Go. Or, like...
Fuck your feelings, that's why.
Oh, right, yes, of course.
That's how WWE looks at it. Because fuck your feelings, that's why.
Like,
I mean, yeah, Aleister Black. Well, Aleister Black was just, again, he was just a victim of. I don't think he was a victim of being called up too soon from NXT. He was just a victim of, like, I think he was just a victim of, like, yes, he's an NXT guy, but we just don't know what to do with him.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You know?
He should have just stayed in NXT.
Yeah.
He was having great matches, you know. He's like a Ciampa or a Gargano. Like, he could have been there for a long time, and nobody would have been too concerned about it or anything.
Yeah.
But...
And the last release here, the name that I was stunned by.
Yeah.
Yeah. The train conductor himself, Braun Strowman, was released. Well. And again, I think it was like 2 weeks after he wrestled at WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah. But according to reports, it turns out they released him because he had a huge money contract.
Yeah, he was getting like $1.2 million.
Yeah, he had $1 million a year contract or something. So, and the rumor is that WWE is looking to sell, possibly, kind of, sort of, maybe. You know?
Well, I've heard that that's all a pack of crap. Like, that's not actually happening.
It just seems like you get rid of all these people so that you get more money out of your sale. I don't know. It's
okay, but let's say
also keep in mind though, SummerSlam is about to go into a Vegas stadium. They're trying to compete the same night as a boxing match with Manny Pacquiao. They've got to free up money for who they're trying to. Like, I mean, they're trying to bring in Cena and Lesnar, so they got to free up some money.
Okay, but let's say all that's true. They're trying to sell. They're bringing in Cena and Lesnar, blah, 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 all that. Do you really, like Braun Strowman's contract, I can understand, $1 million a year or such like that, but do you really think Lana, Murphy, Riot, Aleister Black, and Santana Garrett's contract is really going to clear up that much money for a buyer to be like, oh, well, yeah, you got rid of those 6 people? Well, fucking sign me up.
Not in the slightest.
You know?
Not
I can understand if more releases came after that, but these were the only 6 names that were released.
But that's just the thing. They normally do like 1 round of releases, 1 round of major releases a year in like May, right? This is the 3rd one they've done in like 2 months.
But this is the first one that had like some major names in it.
Yeah. That's exactly my point. They're starting to clear out even more of the talent that was actually getting TV time.
Like, if I were looking to buy WWE, and I'm like, listen, I want to buy, but you got to get rid of some of these people and make it less cost efficient. And they're just like, well, we got rid of Buddy Murphy. I wouldn't be like, well, fucking sign me up.
I'd be like, who?
Well, that's the whole thing, though. If they're not like big names that some executive is going to know, then they don't want them on their contract. They don't want them to be sucking any kind of money out of the company.
But compared to Braun Strowman's $1 million a year contract, Murphy had to be making fucking peanuts.
And Braun
Or if he
Strowman
could've-
does surprise me as well. I will say that because, like, I mean, he's been such a big thing for what, like 5 years now.
Well, and where
Like,
is he
he's
gonna
a
go?
big name. Yeah, well,
Where
I
is
think
he gonna go?
I honestly
Like,
think
I
he's going to
mean-
go to AEW. I think that's the only place that'll take him. The
But
only place
who-
that will like
But
give
who
him enough
is
money.
there? Who is in AEW? And
Wow.
this is like what Cornette
You
said.
mean like
Who is in
Yeah.
AEW besides Miro and Lance Archer that
Yeah.
you look at and say, yeah, I can buy that Braun Strowman's gonna fit because Big Show's not there to wrestle. He hasn't wrestled yet, and even Captain
they'll sign
Insano
him
versus
anyway.
Braun.
It doesn't matter
I-
if he actually has an opponent there. They'll sign him anyways.
I don't know that they will.
Oh, they'll probably sign Strowman to be like an analyst or a commentator or some shit.
Or they sign him to be like Brody's compadre for the Dark Order.
All right, and
Wears
those were the
oversized robes.
and those were the releases there. And we have one more bit of news story, the biggest news I think of the week, and that is if you guys remember Tracy Brooks from Impact TNA.
Yeah.
She released a statement earlier today saying that she will be removing her implants.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sad news.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is she still with Kazarian?
She is still married
Oh.
to Kazarian. Apparently, when she delivered the news, Kazarian, much like Ruby Riott, started breaking down crying. But is somebody on a raceway or something?
Yeah, somebody just like sped right past my house.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I live on a drag strip.
So the rest of this episode is dedicated to Tracy Brooks's implants. We're gonna miss you.
Sorry, cats.
Sorry, buddy.
The elite hunter, if you will. At least you're still getting TV time, pal.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the news for the week. So now it's time to go on to our favorite game, and that is It Came from eBay. And that is where I find weird wrestling-related items from eBay, and Nick and Shutup's here try and guess the prices that they're going for on here. So let me find some ones here. Let's see. Let's go with...
I'm getting the win tonight, by the way.
No,
Just
you're
so
not.
you-
No, you're
I love
not.
how the episodes keep progressing. They're getting more and more serious about this. All right, let's go with it. Let's go with this. Okay. I'm going to go over here. All right, this is a box of WCW Bret Hart cereal.
Oh.
WCW Bret Hart cereal.
They came out with a couple cereals. They came out with a Bret Hart one and a Sting one. This is the Bret Hart one. Has just Bret Hart on the cover, looking Bret Hart, and it's sealed, never been opened. So it's a WCW Bret Hart sealed cereal. How much is it going for on eBay, Nick?
$24.99.
All right, $24.99. And Shelby, how much is the WCW Bret Hart sealed cereal going for on eBay? And if you say fucking $25, I'll end this shit.
$30.
Nick, the total is $24.95.
Wow.
You were 4 cents
Whoa.
off. Yeah, you were 4 cents off.
One of these days
Damn.
is gonna be bang on.
You got to bang on one. You got a Ass Blaster bang on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let's go with this one. I like this one. Let's stick with WCW here. It is a WCW Galoob figure. This was the figures they did before the big rubber ones.
Okay.
But it's loose. It's not in a package. And it's of a very obscure WCW character, Big Josh. Big Josh, if
Who?
you don't know, Big Josh, if you don't know, was a lumberjack-like character, and it was played by the future Doink, aka Matt Bourne.
Wow.
So, Shelby,
Okay.
how much is the Big Josh WCW Galoob loose action figure going for on eBay?
$40.
$40. All right, Nick.
So if it was Galoob era, this was
He really wants that win.
89. Jim Herb era. No, see, it's gonna bother me if I don't get this one because I've watched the toy history on WWF figures,
Oh, I see.
wrestling figures, and I know about Galoob and the history behind that company, and they only went with WCW licensing because Vince flipped the script on them to go for, I think it was Remco or even LJN to begin with, to do the WWF line. And so Galoob, as like kind of revenge, took on the WCW license, but there was no kind of reasonable character to sell because of the debauchery that was going on.
Big Josh, played by Matt Bourne, the future Doink, and it's
Big old
loose.
Josh.
It's loose, not in the package.
Oh, true.
$19.
Oh, Shelby, you get that one
Hell yeah.
because it is actually going for $299.99.
Oh my!
You gotta understand, Matt Bourne no longer with us, and it's a very obscure character. Big Josh did not stick around very long, and I got cocky there. I actually went ahead and wrote down 8-4 on my paper. I really thought Nick was gonna go above $40 on that, so I was already writing them down for the win. But we're tied 1-1. So now it's time for the ass blaster item. There we go. You're a little late there. Let me find an ass blaster item. And okay, since she was released this week, we'll go with this one. A Lana worn swimsuit. Simply, it's a one-piece swimsuit. Not signed by Tully Blanchard.
Oh. Best of wishes, Tully Blanchard.
That would be really awkward if Lana's swimsuit. Best wishes, Tully Blanchard. It's like, but Tully wasn't with the company.
She's just at the beach wearing it, and Tully Blanchard comes up and is like, "I'm gonna sign your."
I'm gonna sign your ass right here. Best wishes, Tully Blanchard.
Big Show, for some reason, is there with the crew, and he's just like, he signed my boot, WCW.
All right, so Shelby, for the win, how much is the Lana worn one-piece, not a bikini, one-piece swimsuit going for on eBay?
$10,000.
Okay, and Nick, how much is the Lana worn swimsuit going for on eBay?
$15,000.
The score is now 7-5.
Oh, balls!
Hell yeah!
The Lana worn swimsuit is only going for $1,000.
Hold on, you said 1,000, huh?
Yeah, you said 1,000.
Yeah, you said 15,000, and Shelby said 10.
Okay, so that's eBay.com, COM. No.
Oh, Lord. That's still too much money.
Look it up. I have better shit to lie to you about.
No,
I think he was implementing that he was going to buy it.
Oh.
That's exactly what I was trying to.
I thought you were making it like, I think you're fucking lying. Let me go look it up. I thought that's what you're hitting. No. Look it up. All right, now we're about to get into our top 10 favorite matches of all time. But before we get into that, we got to talk about one of our sponsors here, and that is repsports.com. That is REPPSPORTS.com. And what repsports.com is that they have numerous products to help you get through a great workout or even just through a long day. They have pre-workout powder, the Broken Arrow pre-workout powder that they have in numerous flavors, sour gummy worm, and the new flavor, Galaxy Burst.
Galaxy Burst?
Galaxy Burst.
That's my favorite.
I know it is. And it tastes just like a pink Starburst. And you can mix that up. That'll get you motivated to go to the gym and everything. But of course, it doesn't really get you motivated because only you can get yourself motivated. And while you're at the gym, if you're starting to lose a little bit of energy there, you can get yourself some Raise energy drink. They have 10 different flavors, and you can also get the new strawberry lemonade flavor. So that makes
Strawberry lemonade? That's my second favorite.
How? It's brand new. It just came out.
Well, it sounds really good.
Well, if you want to get some of this strawberry lemonade Raise energy, or if you want to get yourself some hypersleep when you're all hyped up on the energy from ripping out the back jack with the 24-inch pythons and everything, you can go to repsports.com, use my checkout code ARTIST, ARTIST, at checkout and save 15%. And of course, if you don't want to use any of their products or anything, but you just like their logo, you can get yourself some hats, some t-shirts, some hoodies. It's summertime. I don't know why you'd want a hoodie, but I've seen weirder things.
Hey, maybe they live in Antarctica.
I live in Iowa and see people wear shorts in the wintertime. So, hey, whatever suits you, So, all this
We're
is
in Canada and we see shorts in the wintertime.
Yeah.
There you go, So, all of this is available at repsports.com. Just remember to use the checkout code ARTIST. And if you look in the description of this podcast, there is a link to get yourself a free 4-pack of Raise Energy. All you got to do is cover the shipping. They're going to give you free 4 cans of Raise Energy. That includes the Galaxy Burst. The Galaxy Burst Raise Energy flavor. All you got to do is cover shipping. Just remember to use my checkout code ARTIST so they know that I sent you from the Three-Way Dance. All this and more at repsports.com. All right, so let's get into our top 10 favorite matches here. Again, these are not probably not going to be like, oh, these are the greatest matches ever. But these are just our favorite matches that we like to watch and everything here. So who wants to go first? Don't all rush at once.
Yeah, right. I'll go first. Fuck it.
All right.
So at number 10, from NWA TNA pay-per-view number 97, June 2nd, 2004.
Well, goddamn, do you have the time of it too? Shit.
Actually, a couple of them I have how long they lasted, but not this one. It's the first ever King of the Mountain match for the NWA World Title. Jeff Jarrett versus AJ Styles versus Ron Killings versus Raven versus Chris Harris. And for those of you who don't know the way this match works, it's the reverse of a ladder match where you have to hang the title above the ring, but you can only hang the title above the ring after you score a pinfall on one of the participants. That participant then goes into a penalty box for, I can't remember how long. I think it's like 3 minutes. Sorry?
Yeah, it was 3 minutes.
Was it 3? I thought it was 2 minutes.
I thought it was 3.
I'm pretty sure it's 2.
Either way, for an X amount of minutes, which, to be honest with you, the penalty box felt like a little bit of a hat on a hat type thing.
I figured you'd love the penalty box. I mean, Canadian hockey, penalty box. I figured that'd be your whole fucking...
I love the penalty box.
On the list.
I don't know. It just felt like, you got the guys kind of sitting there, and I guess it's a way of, like, having them not be involved, but just not laying around the side of the ring. What's that?
Raven is in the penalty box.
Yeah. I love the chirping that all these guys do with each other at the beginning of the match. They're just chirping the crap out of each other. Just, you're... Anyways, the finish came when Jeff Jarrett hits Ron Killings with the guitar and hangs the belt very fumbly to become a 3-time NWA champion. And, I thought, they used to show these pay-per-views on ESPN up here in Canada months after they'd come out, and I think this might be one of the first TNA matches I ever saw.
Yeah, I actually remember watching that on, I think it was Fox Sports, actually. I watched it.
Yeah.
At like 4 o'clock on like a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. It was always on at weird times.
It was like sweltering hot, and like I see NWA TNA wrestling. I'm like, what's this? I hit the info, and I'm like, I know some of these names. And I hit the thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's up? And then I was
And
like,
this
that
is
ring
what's
looks
like-
kind of
At
strange.
least you guys had wrestling at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Before I had cable and shit, the only way I was able to watch shit like WWF Superstars was like to be up at Saturday morning at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Good.
I mean that was a lot. Like I wasn't watching wrestling back then, right? So I mean it might have been the same here too.
Well, that's funny that your number 10 match comes from TNA, because actually my number 10 match comes from TNA, and that is now I don't know the exact number of the fucking pay-per-view, the time and date and
Well,
address.
come on, how are our listeners supposed to find these matches if you don't do your?
They can type the match and fucking figure it out. Then we're not fucking Jim Cornette and something to wrestle with. You want that? Go look it up. We're the three-way dance, okay? My number 10 is actually Low Key versus Jerry Lynn versus AJ Styles versus Psychosis, the double elimination match to crown the first ever X Division champion.
Very nice.
Oh, that would have been within their first year then, right?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
I think it was like in their first 10 shows.
Pay-per-views or shows,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you gotta understand, when TNA first came out, they were doing the weekly pay-per-views. I didn't buy the pay-per-views.
No.
I used to turn it to the channel with the pay-per-views, so it'd be scrambled when they still did scrambling, you know. And I would listen to the pay-per-views. I listened to this match. I didn't see dick.
Yeah.
I listened to this match, and this match was still good. It wasn't until years later when I fucking got YouTube and shit where I was like, I should go back and watch that match, and the match was still good.
Yeah.
You know?
Still held up.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
Gotcha.
this match was fucking fantastic. It's on one of the early NWA TNA shows. Go find it, or ask Shelby where it is. I'm sure he has it in it somewhere. He could probably tell you the address of where it is, or social security numbers, all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
My number 10 is from Survivor Series 2001. The main event, actually. Team WWF versus the Alliance. Now, the storyline was shit, and I don't necessarily agree with all the happenings after the match, but, like, for me, like, when I first started, like, my brother and I were going back through, like, old pay-per-view. Like, anytime we were out anywhere, if we saw a VHS or a DVD that was in, like, a bargain bin and it was anything wrestling, we bought it. So we had, like,
same.
a stockpile. We had a stockpile of old DVDs, but one of the ones that we watched the most was Survivor Series 01. And we would only watch the matches that we knew had serious implication to the storyline, so like Edge and Test, and Hardys and the Dudleys, and the Immunity Battle Royal. But then whenever we get to the 5-on-5, we'd always even watch the promo. Like, and we would watch it over and over and over again, and the pre-match promo, and then the match itself, and then we would even have to go and watch Heyman get kicked off commentary the next night, so King can be replaced. There's like, there is a God. Mystery the King Walter. Cuckoo, Cuckoo, the walrus is gone. But like, and of course, we know what happened. Like, Vince is having like a near aneurysm on the stage as he's celebrating the win, and he's got that evil look on his face after Angle was the turncoat. I was thinking it was going to be Austin as the turncoat. Nope, it was Kurt Angle.
No, because that would have been a good idea.
Yeah, no, it would have been. Yeah. But, like, no, I mean, for the simple reason that it was probably the match that if it was like a rainy day or like we needed something to watch and we looked at the pile, we were probably going to that 5-on-5. That's why I ranked it at number 10.
Okay.
Cool.
Shelby, you're number 9. Why pop open? Open this Ray's Energy.
Tasty. This might be the most recent match on my list. It is from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion, June 9th, 2018, for the Intercontinental Championship, Chris Jericho versus Tetsuya Naito. This is where I thought Chris Jericho really shined in his later part of his career. He turned into this sadistic brawler that just beat the crap out of whoever his opponent was. Yes, and him just screaming Naito, Naito, Naito during the match when he's beating the crap out of them. I thought that was incredible.
So
I
that
mean,
was Jericho and not Jim Ross there?
I can't do a great Jericho impression right now, to be honest with you, but so he won the title and then proceeded to never defend it, basically, because I think he defended it against Evil once, and then I think his next defense was against Naito the next year to when Naito took it back. So, but I really like Jericho in this time frame, and I think just before he got into AEW, maybe the early stuff in AEW was some of the best stuff he did later in his career, especially after the WWE stuff.
All right. Number 9 is a match that I've talked about on this podcast a couple times. So it should come as no surprise that this match is on my list, but that is Bret Hart versus the Patriot from In Your House Ground Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else I can say about this match. I just remember watching it when I mentioned that my sister's boyfriend's family used to buy all the pay-per-views. I think that's when I first saw it. That or on tape, one of the two. I think I probably saw it on tape now that I think about it. And, like, I just remember it being just a really good match. And Vince McMahon, you know, usually Vince McMahon can get really annoying on commentary sometimes. Sometimes his commentary is decent, but sometimes it can get, like, really over the top, like, unbelievable. You know, like, shit, calm down, dude. Like, it's fucking armbar. Calm down. You know? But, like, I mean, it just, his commentary on here is just great. Like, when Patriot hit the Uncle Slam on Bret Hart, you could just hear it in Vince McMahon's voice, like, Uncle Slam! Uncle Slam! Like, you really start to believe that the Patriot could win this match and shit. And the Patriot missile and all, just everything about this match was just great. I don't think this match gets enough respect that it deserves. And if you haven't seen it, go. I can't remember anything else from In Your House Ground Zero, but I remember that match.
It's
I
too bad
think
the
that
Patriot
match is.
didn't have a better career.
They just wanted the Sable T-shirt spot. We know what happened. It was Sable in the T-shirt. And
that
Jim
was on that
Cornette
pay-per-view?
spent.
No, it was.
No, but
it was around the same time that the Patriot. They were talking about what the Patriot was going to do at like whatever show. He was like just coming in or whatever, and that was they were in Nova Scotia, I think it was, and everybody in the room wanted to go on about the Sable T-shirt spot, and Jim Cornette's just like, "Well, I'm going back to my room till we talk about wrestling."
And that's when he wanted to pull Kevin Dunn over the table and beat the fuck out of him. And that's when Kevin Dunn started crying because of the teeth.
Well, Jim.
He also said he spent a year in Halifax one weekend.
No, it felt like
a wrestling company, even though we have wrestlers and we have a wrestling ring.
Wrestling boots. No, it was, Jim, I find you taxing. No, tiresome. It's tiresome. You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of your Bucky Beaver fucking teeth. They don't tell you something up. Oh. But he did get out of creative meetings for 2 weeks because of that, so you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's probably what screwed the Patriot even more.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, you're number 9.
My number 9 is the epic collision between the Icon and the Legend from SummerSlam 2005. The overselling Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan.
I will tell you right now, that match did not make my list, but that is a fucking phenomenal match.
Yeah.
Gold. Pure gold. Like I've shown that match to people to be like, this is when people decide they're going into business for themselves. And they start watching and they're like, why is he flopping around? Oh, okay. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, that match is so good.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. People are just like, well, Shawn Michaels is a dick for doing that. I'm like, I don't care. That is the most entertaining match I've ever seen. When Hogan gives him that boot and he fucking runs around, does a flip and lands it, that is the greatest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good one.
All right. So my number 8 is going to be from Judgment Day on May 22nd, 2005. I actually mentioned this match on a vintage pick recently. The I Quit match for the WWE Championship, John Cena versus JBL.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah. It was an old school match. Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an old school match with a lot of blood. And the finish was Cena threw JBL through a TV monitor, and JBL decided to quit when Cena picked up an exhaust pipe, which Cole kept calling a fucking smokestack, which is just stupid. And was going to hit him with it. But yeah, great match. Great old school style match with a lot of blood.
I forgot about the smokestack.
I never heard.
It fucking irritated me.
I never heard the smokestack thing. I don't think I've ever watched that match from bell to bell.
Because it's like a piece off. Because he comes in on like a flatbed truck, and it's like the fucking exhaust pipe from the flatbed. Yeah. So Cole keeps calling it a smokestack, and I'm like, what the hell? Oh Lord.
All right, my number 8. We are venturing out of the world of the major promotions for me. We're actually going to Lucha Underground for this one. And I'm going with Sexy Star versus Mariposa in the No Mas match, a.k.a. No I Quit. This match is just fucking insane. Oh, God. Their feud was just great. I've been a Mariposa, for those of you who don't know, cheerleader Melissa, or Raisha Saeed in TNA.
Yeah.
This match is insane. They go all over. I mean, literally all over the fucking building. They literally go up into the rafters, literally, not figuratively, literally go into the rafters in this match. And you get everything in this match. I mean, weapons, you get brawling, you get cursing. I mean, she gets on the mic and says, "Fuck you, Mariposa." Phenomenal match. One of Lucha Underground's best matches. I debated with another Lucha Underground match on here. It didn't make it. But this one right here, because I am a Sexy Star mark, but this match right here was just phenomenal. Every now and then, if I'm like in the mood to watch some wrestling, I'm just like, you know what? Let me go watch Mariposa versus Sexy Star. Because Lucha Underground should come back. Well, it's kind of back right now in MLW, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I've heard about I've been wanting to get back into MLW. Actually,
it's Azteca Underground in MLW, and Dario Cueto's back, even though he can't be called Dario Cueto. He's LFA. There's Mel Marquez, and but yeah, the No Mas, man. I think that one's you can easily find that on YouTube. If people listening to this haven't seen it, go watch it.
So my number 8 is actually, I think it was ECW One Night Stand 2005. So the first one, it was Dreamer and the Sandman versus the Dudleys.
Really?
Now, again, the reason is not necessarily because of the players or the pay-per-view, but because it actually it allowed me to kind of redevelop a friendship with an old friend of mine from elementary school. Years later, he didn't know kind of the ins and outs of hardcore wrestling. So I was kind of easing him in based on like, here's like some of we're allowing you to do this, but this is what we want you to do. And then we're going to move towards the more violent stuff. And incidentally, at the same time as doing that match, amongst others on that show, but specifically that one, got me through a breakup. I watched it like 14 times in 4 days.
What the shit?
Yeah,
that is a lot.
It was a rough time, man.
Damn.
That is a lot. Pretty cool.
I'm surprised it's that one and not. I once you said One Night Stand, I was like, Tanaka and awesome, but you threw a curveball at me there. You swerved me.
You swerved me, bro. You swerved me.
I do like Swerve Scott.
All right, so we're at number 7 now.
Yep.
And my number 7 is from SmackDown, June 12th, 2003. Brock Lesnar versus Big Show. I believe it was for the WWE Championship. Do you know which match I'm talking about?
Was that when Heyman turned?
No.
No, that was Survivor Series.
Yeah. I'm going to guess that's a no then?
I have no flipping idea.
This is when they broke the fucking ring.
Oh my God.
I was a kid. I had just started watching this shit. And when they fucking did that spot, I fucking popped so hard for it. It was fucking amazing. Now, watching it back and seeing how it happened, I'm like, that kind of looks stupid, but it's still one of those matches that I can go back.
Was it a shocking moment? Yeah, but it was like the #1 most shocking moment on that 100 shocking moments of SmackDown DVD.
Yeah.
I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Then they've redone it twice now, which I'm just like, oh my God.
I know. Twice? I thought it was more than that, to be honest with you.
I know they did it with Big Show and Henry, then another time with Big Show and Strowman.
I thought maybe they did it another time with Strowman, but yeah. I know it's been a little overdone since then, but no, I thought like Strowman did it twice is what I'm saying.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah. I know it's been a
little
overdone.
Maybe he did it with Roman too. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a stretch. I know it's been overdone, but like the first time it was done, it was pretty freaking cool.
I didn't think it was that cool the first time it happened. I mean,
Fair
was
enough.
it different? Yeah, but like, fuck, oh God.
It is kind of funny to see Brian Hebner eat shit, though. He falls right on his ass and then like out of the ring, like that's funny.
He's just like looking around, like, what the fuck?
All right, let's go from the utterly ridiculous. Let's go from the utterly ridiculous to something amazing, and that is from AAA. And that is, I believe it's AAA or CMLL, one of the two. And that is, what the hell? Oh, sorry. And that is Eddie Guerrero and Art Barr versus El Hero del Santo and Octagon in the Mask versus Hair 2 out of 3 Falls match from When Worlds Collide.
I've actually seen that. That was the match I was trying to think of. I was like, there was a tag match with Guerrero and Art Barr, and it was Hair versus Mask.
Yes.
I could not think of who was in it.
This match right here. Oh, my God. Even when I first saw it as a kid, I was like, this is fucking fire. You know? And then, like, I went and watched it, like, I don't know, a couple months ago. I went and watched it on YouTube. There was people in the comments like, this isn't that good. I mean, it's a good match, but it's not that good. I'm just like, what are you, fucking retarded? You bald bastard? Like, you know, like, I'm just like, this match is insane, man, because, like, they hit the tombstone on Octagon and pin him, and then, like, he sells the fucking pile driver as death, so El Hero del Santo's doing it on his own and shit, and he has to beat both of them on his own and shit. Oh, God, it's so good, man. So fucking good. That's it. That's all I got to say. I can't say anything else.
My numbers.
Go watch it. That's what I can go say. Go find it and watch it.
My number 7, actually, it goes hand in hand with another match that's higher up the list. The reason I say it goes hand in hand is because it got me through some of the longer days in my long hospital stay after my accident. Punk versus Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. Crowd was hot. Like, I mean, every time I hear Allstate Arena now, I immediately just hear CM Punk. And it just gets louder and louder and louder and louder. I'm like, oh, man. And I just start running the match in my head. Right up to where Vince is like, get me Alberto. And then Punk takes it off through the crowd. And like, oh, man.
That is a good match. I will give him that.
So good.
See, Shelby, this is how the list is done.
Hey, it said favorite, not greatest. There's a difference.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, number 6. No Way Out 2005. I actually don't have the date here. That's odd. John Cena versus Kurt Angle for the #1 contendership to the WWE Championship. It was the end of the tournament for the #1 contendership. and I honestly think it was Cena's coming out party. Like, you know, he's finally ready to win the big one. I haven't seen this match in a while, but I do remember that I really liked it.
Is that the one Cena won and then he went on to face Lesnar?
No, he went on to face JBL.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, just before WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was trying to think of how he got to Mania again. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, they had that tournament, and he and Kurt Angle had a really good match at No Way Out.
Okay.
Yeah, Booker T was in that tournament, yeah?
Yeah, Booker T and Eddie Guerrero were in it. I think Undertaker and... Who the hell did Undertaker face? I don't remember, but I remember somebody holding his leg underneath the ring.
Luther Reigns?
Yes.
It was, I think Luther Reigns, and Heidenreich
Yes.
that's when Heidenreich mixed it up.
That could be, yeah.
All right, my number 6 is kind of a cop-out, but I put the entire Virgil library. No, I'm kidding. No, number 6 is, you two might give me shit for this, but I don't care. Number 6 is actually the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. The first match they had, I believe, at All Out or Double or Nothing.
I won't say anything.
I won't say anything. I mean, I love the Lucha Brothers, and I can admit that the Young Bucks do know how to wrestle, but those two little shits have overstayed their welcome on my team.
Like it was the one before they had their ladder match for the AAA tag team titles. I can't remember the pay-per-view. I want to say it was either All Out or Double or Nothing, one of the two, or All In.
I think it was Double or Nothing, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think so.
All right. Well, it was the first match they had. It just, if you love flippy shit, this is the match for you. You know, you'll go into a coma with all the flippy shit that's in it. And false finishes. I mean, I like a good false finish. I will say that's AEW's like favorite thing. They do get a little false finish heavy.
Yeah.
But overall, this tag team match was just fucking phenomenal. I mean, first time I watched it, I was just like, this is just insane. You know, one of the signs of a good match recently for me is that like a lot of these shows that I watch, I lay down in my bed and hold my phone and watch it and everything. And how I know it starts getting really good is when I start like fucking like not convulsing, but like if there's like a 2 count and I'm like really into it and shit, and I like start moving, like getting into it and shit, that's how I know shit's getting really good.
When you start having a seizure.
Yeah, you know, like I'm just sitting there watching the match, like, okay, whatever. Then, you know, fucking whatever. But like if I'm just like 1, 2, like, oh fuck, you know, that's how I know it's getting real. And this match was one of those. You know, Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks. So I mean, this was an outstanding tag team match. I can't recommend it enough. Like, even Aaron got on me. He sent me a picture of Dave Meltzer eating tacos. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And he was just like, it's Meltzer food.
That's good. I like that.
It was a GIF. I'm sorry, it was a GIF. And it was like, some dude eating tacos over and over. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? He was like, it's Meltzer food. That's Dave Meltzer. I was like, okay. I love the match, though. I thought just side note, I thought their ladder match was awesome too. I mean, fuck. I mean, seeing Pentagon hit a Canadian destroyer off a ladder into a fucking table, outstanding. But their first encounter is just incredible.
So my number 6, TNA Unbreakable 2005 for the X Division Championship, defending champion Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe in the second best triple threat match I have ever seen.
Yeah. Like, that's a good one.
Like if I hadn't been sold on TNA before that, and I was kind of getting there, I was like, okay, I kind of dig it. And now I saw that match, and I was like, I'll watch this shit every week. I'll watch it. I don't care how kind of ridiculous some of it is. I will watch it. If I can get some combination of those 3, like, oh, man, you put those 3 in the ring together, it was like magic.
Yeah.
Like, oh. Styles pulled off the win. I can remember Styles winning too, and just be like, girl. Even though I wanted Joe to win. Threat. Like, just, yeah. No, there's nothing more I can say that's not going to be just more noises.
Exactly. I know, I completely understand that, because it is. It's a phenomenal match. I'll give you that one.
All right. Number 5. And I lied earlier. This is the latest match on my list. Not by much, though. Only by like a week or two. But it's TakeOver Chicago 2 on June 16th, 2018. Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano in a street fight. This was the one where Tommaso cut up the ring and fucking lifted it up. And the finish came when Ciampa DDT'd Gargano onto that like exposed wood ring and got the pinfall.
Oh, yes.
I mean, there was so much in this match that was just incredible. I think
that was the unsanctioned fight.
I believe it was the street fight, because I looked this up. The unsanctioned one was the first one, right?
Yeah, and then the second one was last.
Johnny Gargano won that one. No, the third one was Last Man Standing.
Was it? Okay, you're right then. Okay.
Yeah. But this match was, and I know Nick and I were talking about how we wouldn't want to see Ciampa and Gargano at like a WrestleMania. I think just because, and we weren't shitting on any of their matches. It was just because I don't know what else they could do after having those 3 matches, and then the fourth one in a ring, even at WrestleMania. I just don't think it would be necessary. But this was a really good match.
What do you mean you don't know what else they could do? You could put Gargano and Ciampa in Punjabi prison and call it a day.
Please.
Neither of them are Indian. We'll just put them in a Punjabi.
Hashtag book it Triple H. Hashtag CWC. Joseph. Hashtag them all.
There's plenty of matches you could put Gargano and Ciampa in again. I mean, there's King of the Road. There's Kennel
Firefly Funhouse.
Firefly
Hollywood Backlot Brawl.
Yeah. Plenty of options.
Terror Dome. Oh, wait. That's TNA. Fuck it. Terror Dome.
Yeah, Terror Dome. Fuck it. First one crawls out of the top wins. All right. Coming at number 5, like as Shelby was talking, I had to make it a tie between these 2 matches, and they're both takeover matches. Because as Shelby said, TakeOver Chicago, I was like, oh my God, I have to include this one match. And I just had to write it down. That's Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate, TakeOver Chicago. And I tied it with a TakeOver Dallas match, that being Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That was the first taste ever I got of Shinsuke Nakamura. People were like, oh my God, Shinsuke is coming to WWE. Oh my God. So I'm just like, all right. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But then like he came out and like his music hit and he came out and I was like, okay, I'm kind of sold. This guy has a good charisma here. And then the match that he and Sami Zayn put on, man, was just like, I felt like I needed a cigarette after watching that.
And you don't even smoke.
Like that's how exactly. Like I don't think I was smoking at the time. That's how good it was. I think I was like in my like not smoking phase at that moment, and like that's how good that fucking match was. Like just afterwards, I was just like, oh God, like that's how good this fucking match was. Because like I've never seen Shinsuke Nakamura until this match. Sami Zayn I've seen, of course. But this match right here was just astounding. Plus, the crowd reaction with it was just fucking, oh my God. It was, I got to pull a Nick here. I got to stop before I just start making noises. I'm going to bust one right here, and I'm going to need a cigarette, and I don't smoke. So.
Okay. All right, I don't think I've ever watched a title win more than Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar from No Way Out 2004.
You probably haven't watched it more than anybody because WWE won't stop fucking airing it.
No, I watched it all on Cheating Death. I watched it over and over on Guerrero's DVD set. The first one they did, Cheating Death, Stealing Life.
Look at you, man, because WWE's been airing that clip since he died. And don't get me wrong, I love that Eddie won the title, and that was a great moment and shit for him. But I've had to see that fucking clip of him hitting that frog splash and rolling over that ref so many goddamn times that, like, it has lost all meaning. But continue. Go ahead.
I just think you mean. I love Eddie Guerrero, man. Like, damn.
I love him too.
Even though we have Dominic now, even though we have Dominic now, it's just not the same.
I'm just over that match. I'm sorry. It's like a song,
but no, like
it's like a song you hear on the radio so many fucking times, to the point where you're just like, "Fuck, I'm so over this song."
Like Thrust After Thrust.
Well, that never made it to the radio.
I wonder why.
Because I didn't have it professionally recorded. That's why.
Well,
I would have had it professionally recorded. Fucking #1 hit. Anyway.
Well, get on that, man. Come on now.
But that's what that fucking Eddie Guerrero Brock Lesnar match is to me at this point. It's just like, it's a fine match, but like I've had to see that ending clip so many times over the years since Eddie has died that like it has just lost all fucking meaning to me. I am just so tired of seeing that fucking clip.
Hey, fair enough, man.
Yeah.
Number 4.
All right. Number 4. From King of the Ring.
What? Another thing about that match. No, I'm kidding.
From King of the Ring, June 28th, 1998. The Undertaker versus Mankind Hell in a Cell. I mean, I don't know that anybody listening has never seen this match or never heard of this match. But if they haven't...
Wait a minute, what match was that?
Good one.
That's the Boiler Room Brawl one, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
As God is my witness, the man is broken in half.
Mankind gets thrown off the cell. Mankind gets thrown through the cell, which was an accidental bump. Mankind.
I don't believe I've seen that one.
Yeah. Should I just stop then?
Yeah, don't spoil it for me.
Okay, fair enough. All right, next pick.
No, but like, Mr. Technical Wrestling over here has been watching like a lot of Jim Crockett and mid.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. The oldest match on this list is from '97. I haven't seen a lot of that shit enough to say it's my favorite.
It's not even like the years. It's just that like, lately you've become like Mr. Technical Wrestling, and then like when number 4 on your list is fucking barely even a match. Let's be real.
This was incredible though. This was
it has great moments. Yeah. And it stood the test of time. We're still talking about it fucking almost 25 years later. But like, just who you've become wrestling wise lately, and then this is like your number 4 favorite match. It's just, it's mind boggling.
Well, my top 3 are going to be a little bit more in tune of what I watch now and what I'm kind of into now, but yeah, fair.
Number 4 for me is probably one that probably a lot of people. Number 4 for me is probably one people wouldn't expect, but kind of expect considering one of the people in the match. Again, I don't know what TNA pay-per-view would happen on. I think it was one of the weekly ones. So probably Shelby has that info in his brain somewhere. But it was Jeff Jarrett defending the NWA World Title against Raven.
Oh yeah,
that was from. That's when Raven won. That was.
No, he didn't win this.
I don't think Raven ever won the NWA World Title.
Yeah, he did. He won a King of the Mountain match.
He did.
Which one did he win? Because he didn't win the one. He didn't win the first one.
No, he didn't. He won, I think, like the third one.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
but this was another one I remember like putting on the scramble and just listening to, and then like the intensity of this match, like how close Raven was going, because that was a huge Raven mark. Raven was like a lot of early inspiration for the whole fucking artist version 1 thing. I mean, the little resemblance that Raven has now to compared to the whole artist thing now is fucking barely there. But early artists had some Raven in them and shit.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, and then eventually, believe it or not, the early artists, side note, early artists had like artists formerly known as Prince Iakea and fucking Raven in them. A little bit of Jim Duggan, Canadian Jim Duggan. And then once Matt Hardy version 1 showed up, that's when it shifted to artist version 1, and fucking just kind of been crafting it ever since. But yeah, I was a huge Raven mark, so like I really wanted Raven to win this match. And again, this was another one that like once I had YouTube and shit, I was like, I gotta go watch this match, and held up. The sound matched what I watched, and great match. And it's very rare for me to say like Jeff Jarrett in a great match.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like Jeff Jarrett, but especially like in TNA Jeff Jarrett. I mean, I can only think of like one Jeff Jarrett match in WCW that I liked, and that was the Triple Cage match. But but yeah, there we go.
Okay, so my number 4, my favorite and possibly the best triple threat that doesn't get mentioned anymore. Benoit, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 20 for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Wait, who was that first guy?
Yeah,
Benoit.
never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Oh. Well,
I mean, what can we say about that match? I haven't said already.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Good match.
Yeah. All right. Well, my number 3 also involves one of those men. From Royal Rumble 2003 for the WWE Championship, Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, any match that these two had was friggin' incredible. In my opinion, I mean, they just had so much chemistry. They were very similar. There's, so many times that they're countering each other's submissions in just like insane ways that like not many guys could do. And they were pure. I think they were one of probably the greatest rivalries ever. And they're my favorite rivalry ever, I think. Benoit ends up tapping to the ankle lock after 19 minutes and 49 seconds, but gets a standing ovation for his effort. And again, I've talked about coming out parties. I think this was, as much as Benoit was an established star at this point, I think this was a huge coming out party for him. Like, hey, this guy could be world champion. And within the next year, he is. So.
Wait a minute, wasn't this the match where they had like a time limit and they had to get as many submissions as possible?
No, you said that last time. Jeez, I couldn't tell if you were being serious or not.
I was like, are you working that gimmick this one too? Like, nice.
Oh, God.
All right. My number 3 is, again, a match that I think we've talked to death on this podcast already, even though we're only 12 episodes in, but I think we've talked the match to death. And that is Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, WrestleMania 25.
Yeah, we've talked it to death.
Yeah. I'll say, if y'all have anything to add to this, feel free, but that's all I got.
Nope.
One of the most, well, I wouldn't say violent, but one of the most intense matches I think I've ever watched is my number 3. It's from King of the Ring 2001, the street fight between Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon. It's like as if the match isn't like what it is enough, but like the sequence from the plate glass windows all the way up to the finish is that's some sick stuff, man. Like, wow. When Shane lands on his head after the one German suplex and the glass doesn't break, he has like a serious concussion right there, and he told Kurt to throw him through the glass. The second glass throw, when it does break, wasn't planned. The first panel was the only one that was supposed to break. When it didn't break, Kurt broke it with Shane, and then broke the second one with Shane too, for good measure, to make it look better, because the first time it didn't break. Like, Shane McMahon had to be rushed to hospital after it was that bad. But like, I'll still go back and watch that match. Like, if I can't sleep, I'm like, Shane versus Angle, let's do it. And here we go. It's like, I mean, yeah, that might sound weird, but that's the way it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Drink.
That's where that famous, remember the "Don't try this at home"
Yep.
thing.
Oh yeah.
I think I broke my tailbone. That's where that came from. I used to know that by heart.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Watch so much.
I broke my knee 6 times. I think I broke my tailbone. I used to know all that by heart.
I ruptured a disc which fragmented into my spinal column.
Yes!
Careers ended in an instant. Yes, this is entertainment, but the hazards are real. He's barely able to stand. Referees, trainers, EMTs down.
Referees down. Yeah.
Wherever you are, whatever you do, please do not try this at home.
I remember the music too. It's just, oh man. All right, we're at number 2.
Yep.
And I sent you guys a message the other night saying I can't wait to talk about my number 2.
I swear to Christ, if this is fucking Bret Hart and Austin at WrestleMania 13, I'm done.
Because this was going to be on my list, but it was going to be much higher. And then I rewatched the match, and oh my god, it is from Raw, May 6, 2005, in the Gold Rush Tournament Round 1, Shawn Michaels versus Benjamin.
Oh, yes.
Holy shit, this was incredible. Shelton Benjamin, the younger of the two, was just on point here. Shawn Michaels does the kip up and kind of gingerly turns to Shelton, who kips up and just fucking stares at him like, you think you can do that? I can do it better. Shelton jumps up straight from the canvas all the way up to the top rope like it's nothing and delivers a flying forearm. And then, of course, the finish. The amazing, probably the greatest super kick to ever be delivered to anybody in their entire life. Shelton.
Yeah, Matt and Nick Jackson, if you're listening, suck it, young fucks.
This is something that you guys should be watching. Not that you're actually listening to this, because why the fuck would you care? But Shelton springboards off the top rope from the opposite side of the ring as Michaels, makes it all the way over, and Michaels catches him with the kick. Incredible spot. And not only do Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross pop, but there's a guy sitting in the front row who's dressed kind of like Hulk Hogan. And every time I watch this specific spot, I look at his reaction because it's just incredible. He just fucking loses his mind, and the whole stadium does.
I was about to say, the whole first 10 rows you can see lose their fucking shit.
Yeah, but he's like the first one that sees it. It's just like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? Oh, incredible. Incredible. And I forgot how good the rest of this match was too. And they spent 9 seconds on the outside of the fucking ring, other than Shelton being on the apron. Incredible. Anybody could watch this match now and learn from it, or just enjoy it.
I will say, I do like the Young Bucks and their super kick parties and shit like that, but yeah, that fucking springboard into Sweet Chin music and shit, man. Oh god, I think I have a clip on YouTube where it's just that moment, and sometimes I'll just go watch that. I don't even need the whole match.
Yeah, same. I'll do the same thing. Or even if I can't find that one and I find the whole match, I'll just skip to the end.
Yeah.
It's the greatest surprise move.
RKO to Evan Bourne. The RKO from the Shooting Star Press.
Here
comes Evan Bourne. He's almost at the ground, and the RKO. It's like, oh my god, what just happened?
Yeah.
Well, at least he didn't slip and fall on that one.
Oh.
All right, my number 2, you may or may not give me shit for. I originally had it a little lower. I think I had it at number 6, but then I did some reshuffling today, and I was like, you know what? I think it deserves to be number 2. And that is Kenny Omega versus Okada 1.
I don't remember which one that was. I mean, they had, how many matches did they have?
They had 3.
They had 3? I'm pretty sure I've seen all three of them, and I'm not going to say that they were shit matches because they were good matches. I will say that. I just don't remember this one specifically.
I mean, this was like the one that like everybody kept talking about, like, oh my god, you got to see Omega
Was
and
that
Okada.
like the 6-star or whatever the fuck Dave Meltzer
I think
gave
so.
it?
Yeah, I think Meltzer was just like, oh my god, I give it 27 stars, and so
Yeah.
I was just like, oh fuck, I want to watch this match. Everybody's talking about, I want to watch it. And I'm not a real big Japanese match watcher because some of them can be very boring. And the crowd is, because in Japan they take wrestling very seriously. They
do.
Here it's sports entertainment. In Japan, it's sports.
Yeah.
They don't like that fucking like count out disqualification shit, man. They'll fucking shit on your grave and shit for that. So I tend to not watch a lot of Japan wrestling because of that, because they take shit a little too seriously and such like that.
Not to mention too, like there's not like the chanting that you get in North America, like especially during like the 80s and stuff when like Benoit was there and stuff. They'd clap. That's it.
Yeah.
There'd be no chanting whatsoever. Now they chant a little bit, I think, but anyways.
So when I heard about this match, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go watch it. And like I was just taken back of just how phenomenal this was. Even all the false finishes in this match I enjoyed. Usually you can get away with one or two false finishes. I think this one had like 37 of them, but it still worked. And like it really opened my eyes to like, oh, okay, Japan's coming around to some wrestling. I tend to watch some Japanese matches every now and then if one pops up. If somebody's like, oh my god, you got to go watch, Jericho and Naito. Like, oh, okay, fuck, let me go watch it and see if it's any good. So, but this, whatever. But like this one right here, I just this was again like one of those ones where like I never seen Kenny Omega, but like I heard of him. So I was just like, all right, let me go see what this guy's all about and shit. And like I ended up being an Omega fan because of it. I know you guys have a different opinion of Omega. But I dig this match. I think it's great. This is another one that like, fuck, I'm just like, feel like watching some wrestling. I could pop in Omega and Okada,
I liked the match, but I couldn't do it in the way that you just said, just because it is a very long match. It's like a 32-minute match or something like that.
Yeah. But it's phenomenal. It's a good.
It is good. It is very good.
It's not a kennel from hell,
Well.
My number 2 is it was a Monday Night Raw in 2002, where a certain few words were immortalized by legendary commentator Jim Ross. It had a defense. What was it? It was the Undisputed Championship, right?
Yep.
Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy. Climb the ladder, kid. Make yourself famous.
Climb the ladder, kid. Make yourself famous.
I think that's my cousin's favorite match too, to be honest with you.
Do it, Jeff. Do it.
The knockout shot. The knockout shot. This may be the night. This may be the biggest night.
He's just going insane. Like, and even to go back and watch that match now, even knowing the result, I can still get fully invested just because of JR's commentary. Like, just how into it gets, and I'm like, oh my god, come on. And it's like, wait, no, this is old. Remember that. This is 19 years old. It's old now. But still, no, like, it just, I could get right back to 2002 with that match as if it was just happening. Like, that's, go on the ladder, kid.
Make yourself famous.
Besides Fruity Delicious, Fruity Skittles, that is like my favorite JR line ever.
They're fruity. They're delicious.
Fruity, delicious, fruity,
Skittles.
Jeepers, JR, you're gonna have an aneurysm. Have I told you how fruity they are?
People, if you're listening to this, just type in Jim Ross Skittles into fucking YouTube.
I think I'm gonna watch that when we're done, to be honest with
you. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, before we get to our number 1 picks here, Shelby, do you have any honorable mentions you want to mention?
I have one that originally was on here before the the Kurt Angle and John Cena match was, and that was AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura from Wrestle Kingdom. But the reason it didn't make my list was because, you say it all the time. As good as that match was, I couldn't name a single spot or a single move from that match. I just know it's really good, and I liked it. So that's why it didn't make my list. But anyways, that was my only one.
I honestly don't have any.
You don't have any?
No.
All right, and I have a couple here. I have 5 of them. I just want to mention here. This was actually my number 10 before I swapped it out with the 4-way X Division match, and that is Eddie Guerrero versus Juventud Guerrera versus Psychosis from World Wrestling All Stars Revolution for the International Cruiserweight Championship. World Wrestling All Stars was an Australian company that tried crossing over to the United States. It was one of the first real promotions after WCW closed. It basically snatched up every fucking available WWE and WCW guy that they could. But this was one of the highlights that they had. If you can find this match, definitely go watch it. Booker T and Sting versus the Road Warriors at Uncensored 96. Jerry Lynn versus RVD from Living Dangerously. You know the match.
Oh, that match is good.
Yeah. HBK versus Razor Ramon, the ladder match. And it's from an episode of Nitro, I believe, April 2000. I don't know the exact date, but I know it's April 2000. And that is Rey Mysterio versus Juventud Guerrera versus Blitzkrieg versus, I wrote Kidman, and that's wrong. It's actually Psychosis. Versus Psychosis in a fatal 4-way match for the Cruiserweight title. Phenomenal match. All right.
I do have an honorable mention, actually, now that I think about it.
Too late. Anyway, number 1. No, go ahead.
I forget. I can't say what date it was. But it was Savage versus La Parka, but La Parka was actually DDP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Shelby, your number 1 favorite match.
Number 1 favorite match, and you're gonna hate me for this.
Oh, Jesus.
From WrestleMania 13.
Yep, I knew that's what it was.
Bret Hart versus Stone Cold in the submission match. And it's funny because I wrote down I Quit match, and I was like, wait, it's a submission match. But the amount of times that, like, McMahon and JR call it an I Quit match in this match is just, it's kind of funny. But I guess this is before they started doing I Quit matches.
Well, I guess it could have been an I Quit match in the oh no, that was the year before. Never mind. Sorry.
But I mean, we've talked about this match before. I don't think I can really say a whole lot more about it. But yeah, favorite match of all time at this point in my life.
And before I reveal my number 1, I want Nick to reveal his number 1.
Well, you know what it is. The greatest Intercontinental Championship match ever, man. WrestleMania 3. Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
So wait a minute, why'd you want to know who the 4th team in that fucking ladder match was then?
I was just wondering.
So, okay, for context here, Nick messages our group chat and was just like, who's in that ladder match at Armageddon? It was Eminem, the Hardys, Regal, and Taylor. And who was the 4th team? I'm like, the Champions, Kendrick and London. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's who it was. And then I'm like, okay, so he's been through 9 matches, so that obviously has to be number 1. No, the match is not even fucking mentioned.
Not even mentioned as an honorable mention.
Yeah, oh, fuck. Okay. And my number 1, I was peculiarly quiet during one of Nick's picks there because it's actually my number 1. And my number 1 is Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy in the ladder match. Because at the time, I was getting really big into Jeff Hardy. You know, Jeff Hardy was getting, oh, God, he was starting to get that push, and I was really liking him. So then when he got this ladder match for the world title, you know, part of me was just like, well, shit, he's not going to win, but fucking whatever. But as you're watching that match, you start to believe that he's going to fucking win. You know, there's a part at the end where, like, he reaches up and he grabs the title. And I remember the first time I watched this match when he touched that title, my heart fucking almost jumped out of my fucking chest because I was like, oh my God, he's gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know, and then bam, there's the chair from Taker, climbs up, choke slams him, and we know what happens and shit. But yeah, but to agree with Nick, yeah, the commentary on this has some of the best calls ever. The knockout shot, the fucking climb the ladder, kid, make yourself famous. Some of the best calls since fucking Stone Cold. I mean, Undertaker's first ever ladder match. I think first and only, if I think about it.
Well, he's done TLC with Edge, didn't he?
There we go. Yeah, he did do TLC matches. But his first ladder match was against Jeff Hardy. Did very well for a big man in a ladder match. Jeff Hardy was one of the kings of the ladder matches at the time and such. To this day, this is one of the matches where like I can still sit in front of and just be like, hell yeah, and just still be satisfied with this match.
And that was kind of before they started putting everybody in a fucking ladder match too, right?
Well, I don't think they put everybody in a ladder match. That'd be cool though if they put the entire roster in a ladder match. I'd watch that shit.
They'd have to fight through like the entire arena just to like starting in the locker room. You have to fight your way to the ring.
Well, it's kind of like the Money in the Bank ladder match from Headquarters.
God, I'm so mad they're not doing that again this year.
Well, they're actually going to have fans, I guess. So
I know, but still, I still wanted them to do it again. You don't know how disappointed I am in that.
Corbin smashing.
I can hear it.
I know. I'm so sad. There's so much potential there. There's so many other rooms in that fucking building. I'm sure they could put. I mean, they have a whole room dedicated to the Undertaker. So imagine what other rooms they have.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe there's like a whole clown room and it's Doink. I mean, he did show up. All right, that was our top 10 favorite matches there. So before we get into the wrestling fact of the week there, we got to talk about our other sponsor, and that is hardtofindtv.com and its sister site, fanmadedvd.com. And what those sites are, they put your favorite TV shows that are, well, hard to find on DVD and or Blu-ray. So if you're looking for a show that you used to love on TV, like, I don't know, maybe Veritas, The Quest, or what's an obscure Canadian TV show?
Dan for Mayor.
That. If you're looking for that, you can ask Hard to Find TV, and they'll find it for you, slap it on a DVD or a Blu-ray for a fair price, and get that shipped out to you with complete with DVD art, disc art, the whole shebang there. And of course, if you go over there and use my discount code ARTIST, you'll save 15% on the whole order. And if you happen to go over to hardtofindtv.com, they only accept Amazon Pay, but you can go over to FanMade DVD, use your credit card, use your PayPal, use whatever. And if you happen to go over there and they don't have what you're looking for on the website, well, you can email them a request. And if for some reason they're like, hey, we can't have it. Well, if they don't have it, you don't need it. Remember, hardtofindtv.com and fanmadedvd.com. Use my checkout code ARTIST. Let them know that I sent you from the three-way dance and save 15%. All right.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't know what Dan for Mayor is. You've never heard of Dan for Mayor?
I'm not Canadian.
It's who's the
guy who
Nick? You know
Hank.
what Dan?
It's the
Sorry,
guy who plays Hank. It's his show. Fred Ewing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed. I don't know if I saw. I don't think I saw every episode, but I enjoyed like a couple episodes that I saw.
The only Canadian shows I know are Corner Gas Animated, Hiccups, and Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, Dan for Mayor was the other spin-off, like the other show that came after Corner Gas for those people. Like Hiccups was the one that Brent and Nancy Robertson did, and then Fred Ewenwick did Dan for Mayor.
Huh. Sure.
And
that's
actually,
your wrestling fact of the week.
The wrestling fact of the week, actually, if we go back to Oh, we go back to 1988 for this one. Now it's a music video. So there was 2 music videos made for the song Two Hearts by Phil Collins. The music video version that everybody has seen, the one that was circulated on the TV and whatnot. Then there was a second one. Now the second music video was made for a Phil Collins TV special called Seriously Phil Collins. It centers around Phil Collins in a wrestling match with the Ultimate Warrior. There is a music video for the Phil Collins song Two Hearts with him wrestling the Ultimate Warrior.
All right, I'm looking this shit up, man. I want to see this.
Please tell me Phil Collins goes over.
Yes, that would be amazing.
I'm pretty sure he does, but I'm not certain.
Oh my god, I gotta find this shit.
If Phil Collins doesn't go over, come on, man. What's the point?
Like, he even has a sparring helmet.
Oh man, I'm looking this up right now.
I gotta look it up right now. I remember hearing somewhat about this. I just can't.
Oh my god!
You're changing Shelby's whole world here.
Yeah. All right, save that for later.
You've rocked his fragile little mind. Well, like, I remember hearing something about this, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's
Oh, I'll make sure to send it.
It's interesting.
Huh. All right, so that was our wrestling fact of the week. Apparently, Ultimate Warrior takes on Phil Collins. And now for our sports star list of the week, which, keeping with our theme of matches, picked out a good one here. And that is the top 10 war game match. No, I'm kidding.
I watched one though.
Which one did you watch?
It was the one with the Road Warriors, Midnight Express, and Dr. Death. I think it was the second or third one. I couldn't find. They didn't have the first one on the WWE Network.
Wow.
I know.
Because I think that one was. I think you'd have to look under WrestleFest for that one, or Wrestle War.
Well, I thought the first one was at Great American Bash. That's what Wikipedia said.
Oh, okay. I could be wrong.
But they don't have that Great American Bash for whatever reason. I think it was Great American Bash '87. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's not here.
They're still adding stuff.
I guess.
All right. But it is the 10 weirdest stipulations in wrestling history. Some of these are going to be ones that we've talked about before, but some of them are not. So, number 10 is the Duchess of Queensberry rules match from WWE. Chris Jericho faced William Regal at Backlash 2001. When Jericho made Regal submit, the Duchess said submissions didn't count. Regal hit Jericho with a chair, and the Duchess said the match was no DQ. Regal got the win, and thankfully the Duchess retired to her royal estate.
Thank God.
Yeah,
basically, it was just the gimmick of just like, all right, the heel is going to keep changing the rules.
Yeah. Which is fun to do every now and then, but I don't know. I definitely wouldn't want to see more of it, that's for sure.
All right, coming in at number 9 is the TNA Lockbox Challenge.
The Lockbox Challenge.
See, Nick knows, but Shelby has no idea. Eagle Eye fans could tell this had Vince Russo's fingerprints all over it. This 2010 bout had 8 knockouts in a wild battle where the point was to pin your opponent, which granted a key to one of 4 lock boxes hanging around the ring. Tara the champion found her pet tarantula. Velvet Sky got a contract for a future title match, while Angelina Love found the title belt and was the new champion. This meant poor Daphne had to do a striptease in the ring, which ended in a messy brawl.
I think I remember that.
Even a mud pool match would have been better than this.
Yeah. That does have Vince Russo written all over it.
Bro.
Judging from what it sounds like, Nick really enjoyed this match.
I just think this is. It was hilarious. I just thought it was funny.
I was disappointed because I wanted to see Daphne strip. But it gets worse because the next match at number 8 is the Gulf of Mexico match.
What?
From WWECW. You know
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yes. The whole idea of the match was to throw your opponent into the Gulf of Mexico. And it was CM Punk and Chavo Guerrero. The only way to win was to throw your opponent into the Gulf of Mexico. Yes,
Yep.
The two men brawled all the way through the arena, out to the parking lot, across the road to the docks, before Punk gave Chavo the GTS to send them into the Gulf. The whole match was all wet.
Yeah.
Why haven't they brought this back is what I want to know.
That's what I'm wondering.
That's what you want to know.
Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano.
Gulf of Mexico match.
Gulf of Mexico.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
Wow.
one of the Young Bucks get thrown in the Gulf of Mexico.
Man, y'all really hate the Young Bucks or something. I don't get it, dude.
Oh, it's fun.
All right. Number 7 is a match we talked about before, but King of the Road.
That's ball.
I think they should update this for the time. I think it should be in the back of a truck, okay? But I think the way to change it up is that they fight each other in the back of a truck, but they have to wear rollerblades as they do it.
Actually, why don't we go super hardcore with this and put them in the back of a pickup truck moving 100 miles an hour?
While wearing rollerblades.
Is there a cage around the pickup truck?
No protection whatsoever. So basically, you're seeing one guy die.
Oh, shit.
Or both of them, for that matter.
Yeah. Whoever dies first loses.
It's just a blurry mark.
Oh my god, I wish I would have saw this. In the middle, it says the 10 most bizarre gimmick matches in WCW history. Fuck, I wish I would have saw that one. But speaking of WCW, coming in at number 6 is the San Francisco 49ers box match, which I love.
I was wondering if that was going to be on here.
Yeah, fucking love it. Don't care what anybody says. Moving on. Coming in at number 5 is the Crybaby match from WWE.
Oh, I don't remember this one either.
WWE star the 1-2-3 Kid had been a popular babyface before turning on old friend Razor Ramon in early '96, costing Razor Ramon the Intercontinental title. Obviously, this was the perfect setup for a wild feud between two former friends. They used the wrong 2, by the way. They used T-O when they should have used T-W-O, but whatever. Culminating in an epic showdown. Instead, the two fought in a ridiculous match with the stipulation of the loser having to dress like a baby. Ramon won and put Kid in a diaper, complete with powder all over his body and sticking a bottle in his mouth. This one's the only one's crying, the fans watching this, both in pain and laughter.
Yeah,
I mean, I get the concept. It's kind of like shaving somebody bald. It's supposed to be embarrassing to the heel, but I mean, they probably could have came up with a better idea.
They definitely could have come up with a better idea.
But it was WWE 96.
You know who that has written all over it? Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, brother love.
Coming in at number 4 is one of Nick's favorite matches of all time. It is actually Judy Bagwell on a pole.
Oh, good Lord.
Let's be honest. Any, quote, object on a pole match is automatically pretty dumb. But nothing can top this. At New Blood Rising, Buff Bagwell and Canyon fought in a match where Buff's real-life mother, Judy, was suspended on a forklift by the ring. Amazingly, the match wasn't half bad. But the sight of Judy screaming while suspended A terrifying 10 feet over the floor was hysterical as it was horrifying. Buff won the match for his mother's safety, if not her dignity. Also, this match featured a run-in by former WCW heavyweight champion David Arquette. I just want to point that out.
Wow.
Anything to say about Judy Bagwell on the poll? Former WCW Tag Team Champion Judy Bagwell? Just hear the depression from you two.
Yeah, pretty much.
Coming in at number 3 is, again, a match that I don't think is that bad, and that is the Chamber of Horrors.
Ugh.
I like the Chamber
I watched
of
this
Horrors.
one recently.
Oh, yeah? You loved it, huh?
No.
What the fuck, man?
No.
The cameras caught the fatal lever in the on position with nothing happening. Finally, Cactus Jack accidentally fried partner Abdullah the Butcher with cheap sounds and lights flashing. This was horror, all right.
Yep.
You're wrong. The Raw Bowl at number 2.
The what?
The Raw Bowl. Okay, yeah, finally. Okay. Some college football games are a big deal on January 1st. WWE, decided to do the same thing in 1996. The Raw Bowl had the Smoking Guns, Yokozuna and Owen Hart, Razor Ramon and Savio Vega, and finally Psycho Sid and the 1-2-3 Kid in a weird fatal 4-way. All of them wore football jerseys with the ref dressed like an NFL official. The rules included how anyone could tag in anyone else. Each team was given a, quote, timeout complete with flag. It was 5 utterly confusing minutes with the Guns victorious, and little wonder WWE never tried it again.
Yeah, it sounds like a mess.
The Guns were victorious. That says enough about that catastrophe. Like what?
I mean, the
Owen
Guns
and
did get a
Yokozuna.
pretty big push at one point.
And coming in at number, let's cornet this. Any guesses as to what number 1 could be?
Oh God.
I mean, there could be several.
Yeah. This is the reverse. Oh, I'm gonna say the reverse battle royal.
Okay. And Nick, what do you think?
King of the Mountain.
Ooh.
Number 1, Custody of Dominic.
Oh, yes. Okay.
WWE superstars Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero were 2 superb athletes, more than capable of putting on a terrific match without any added stipulations. So, of course, WWE had to turn a 2005 dispute into a soap opera. The 2 partners feuded, with Eddie claiming that he was the birth father of Rey's son Dominic. This led to a ladder match where they vied for, quote, custody papers. It was an okay match. Well, I think it was better than okay. It was an okay match, although Vicky ruined her planned run-in. Where the fuck was Vicky? allowing Rey to win, quote, custody. It's a shame that this was actually Eddie's last major feud before his sudden passing.
Wow. He had a feud with Batista. It just never ended.
Dominic.
Yeah,
I'm your puppy.
I'm your puppy.
We're gonna read a little bedtime story, Dominic.
Oh my God, that was so good.
It's Uncle Eddie's bedtime story.
I like the storyline. However, I can understand why people shit on the stipulation of the match, because when would that ever fucking happen?
Oh, anything can happen in the WWE.
Oh yeah, it sure can, especially with Bruce Pritchard behind the fucking curtain.
Come on, man. Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation, pal.
Good shit, pal.
Good shit, pal.
All right. So that was our Sportster list of the week. And now we have some viewer questions coming from Andrew and Stug138 here. They were the only ones that got some questions in. So let me go ahead and arrange these here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's get Stug out the way first here. And I think we've answered something like this before, but do you all remember the first time you saw wrestling and who was the wrestlers?
Yeah, we did answer this one.
That's what I thought. I thought we did
Yeah.
that. Stug, we're going to skip that one. Stug 138, out of all the Hulk Hogan movies, which one is your favorite?
Mr.
Oh, God.
Manny.
Which one, Nick?
No, Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain.
What? Why?
Gosh, I just love it.
Shit. If it ain't Suburban Commando, then it ain't shit.
Muppets from Space is also good.
It's not really a Hulk Hogan movie, though.
I don't know if I've seen a Hulk Hogan movie.
What?
I honestly can't think of one.
Mr. Nanny, Suburban Commando, No Holds Barred.
Oh, I definitely haven't seen No Holds Barred.
What?
High Noon at Mega Mountain.
Uh,
Go ahead. Say High Noon at Mega Mountain one more time. Go ahead.
Hey, I could just talk about how
Santa
Joey
with-
Janela stinks.
Oh my God. Santa with Muscles.
No.
Thunder in Paradise.
No.
The Hulk Hogan porn.
Oh, yeah. No.
Wow. Okay, you uncultured swine. Okay. Yeah, I got to go with Suburban Commando. I was frozen today. Plus, it features Undertaker in a rare acting role.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You couldn't even pull out Rocky 3, Shelby? Damn.
No, I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies.
No, that's blasphemy.
I know, or Star Wars.
You should.
I should probably stop.
All right, Stug 138. Have any of you watched the Glow TV series? If so, did you like it? And who was your favorite wrestler? I've been wanting to watch that Netflix show Glow. I just never got around to it. Did you guys ever watch it?
Same answer. I didn't watch it. I've just been wanting to get around to it, but
I watched it,
to
and I think it's better than the actual promotion was to wrestling. I don't know who my favorite would be. Alison Brie plays a really good heel Russian character. I'd probably just say her. She's probably my favorite in that show. But yeah, it's a great TV show. I think there's 3 seasons.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
They were gonna do a 4th one, and that was gonna.
They got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shame. I've seen every episode. I haven't watched it in a while though. I should go back and rewatch it. It's funny how I haven't seen a Hulk Hogan movie, but neither of you guys have seen Glow.
I was going to point that out, but I was just like, really? You haven't seen a Hulk Hogan movie, but you sat and watched Glow?
Yeah,
Alison Brie, man. Alison Brie's phenomenal.
Whatever. Stug 138. What's your go-to food and drink when watching wrestling?
We've answered this one before, too.
We answered that about WrestleMania.
Oh, specifically WrestleMania. Well, I mean, it's going to be the same answer for me. It's usually beer, and then sometimes I'll have chips or pizza, but usually just beer.
I usually just drink whatever's close by. I'm like, all right, shit, Raw's coming on. I got to grab something to drink. So it's just like, all right, fucking, what was I drinking? If I was drinking like a fucking 20-ounce Pepsi Mango Zero Sugar, okay, shit, let me finish drinking this while I watch Raw. It's just basically whatever's available.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Whatever's available.
I'm not like, oh, fuck, Monday Night Raw, shit, let me fucking order pizza. All right, here's the one here. Have any of you watched Dark Side of the Ring documentary series? Just watched the Jake Roberts episode, and his wrestling family was shocking and disturbing, but it gave you amazing insight into one of the best heels ever.
I have not seen the latest season yet, but I have seen other episodes, so I don't know a whole lot about this one, but I heard a little bit on the Grizzly Smith episode today when I was listening to The Experience. So I am very interested to watch this episode.
Yeah, like I was scrolling through YouTube, and somebody actually had it. So that's why I was like watching before it gets taken down, and Shelby was like, taken down? I'm like, copyrights, dumbass. You know?
But I didn't understand. I was like, how can it be copyrighted if I thought you were just watching it on like Vice or whatever? Like I was like, how can it be copyrighted if Vice owns it? I didn't realize you were watching on YouTube.
Yeah, hence why the link said youtube.com.
Yeah, I didn't look at the link.
So I saw it because, you know, people, you know, anybody knows me, you know, Jake Roberts is the GOAT, man, you know. So I watched it and like it was just fucking, oh God, it was just, I wouldn't even say, I would say shocking, disturbing. I probably wouldn't use the word, but I would use the word heartbreaking, man.
It was surprising to hear how many people, and again, I only really listened to it on the Experience and Jim Cornette's take on it, but it was surprising to hear how many people didn't realize what was going on with him and what he was actually doing.
There's like a 43-minute clip of Jim Cornette just reviewing this episode.
Yeah.
And that's what I listened to that like right after I watched this episode.
Yeah.
And but other than the Jake Roberts episode, they've had some other great episodes too. I mean, the one on Warrior I thought was just pretty straightforward. It wasn't smut and filth like I thought it was going to be. I was looking forward to like, you know, like, oh yeah, Warrior used to suck a lot of dick, and you know that's what I was looking forward to, but it didn't happen.
I was pleasantly surprised by Collision in Korea.
I didn't get to watch that one yet.
So there's a really cool, well, I wouldn't say it's really cool, but it's the backstory to what went on during the trip, especially with Too Cold Scorpio and Road Warrior Hawk. Like, it got pretty intense even amongst them down there, and that's not even accounting for like all the different like governmental policies and things that are in place in North Korea, right? Like, it was getting pretty like, ooh, it's worth watch. It definitely surprised me, the Collision in Korea. The Jake Roberts one, I would agree with you in saying that I just felt sad. I like, wow.
Yeah,
like and even for, but not just for Jake, but for Sam Houston and for Rock and Robin too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like,
Rock and Robin, I think, like, especially.
Yeah.
Like Nick said it in our group chat, and like I'll say it here too, and that is like when Jake Roberts said like I put Aurelian Smith Jr. away when I was like 12 or 13 or whatever age you said, and I haven't been him in years. I was just like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I had to pause for a minute at that one. I was like, oh wow. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Like, I think that's only the second time I've had to pause during a Dark Side of the Ring. The first one was the Owen one, when she talks about the whatever you call those, the hook thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's showing like, or whatever.
The carabiner, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's showing the carabiner and how it's supposed to go. I was like, oh my God. Oh no. And I had to pause it. I was like, but
I guess you could say the Owen Hart episode pushed you over the edge.
Okay, come on, man.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, damn, dude. That's Owen Hart, man. Like,
I know, but it was just so good. I had to take it. Get it over the edge, the pay-per-view. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but short answer to your question, Stug. Yeah, we watch it. You know, Jake Roberts one was good. There's other great episodes that we like too. Yeah. All right, the next one's come from Andrew here. This one is: have you seen Young Rock, the TV series? If yes, what classic wrestler do you think was the best represented, and who was the worst? I do not watch Young Rock, so I can't tell you. I don't know about these two.
I don't watch it.
I don't watch it either, and from what I've heard about it, it's not very true to the Hawaiian wrestling kind of area, territory.
Samoan?
I thought they were in Hawaii. Didn't they have like a wrestling territory in Hawaii?
I thought you were talking about their heritage. I'm sorry.
No. I'm talking about like, and there's other things that I've heard as well, but specifically about the territory and like who actually worked there and when they were there and stuff.
And I actually wrote to him. I replied to this on this one because, again, I think it's been talked about, but I guess we'll just do it again for him just in case. But if you could rewrite history and decide who breaks the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, who would you have do it? And I've said before that I think it should have been Randy Orton.
I don't think we did talk about it as a question, though.
Did we?
I don't think so.
I
Maybe
think we
we
did.
talked about it kind of randomly, but I don't think it was a question.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it should have been Randy Orton at WrestleMania 21. Because it would have, I mean, yeah, he went on to become a big star, as we've seen today and everything. But, like, I think that would have just, he would have broke that glass ceiling way quicker than he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have booked Undertaker to pin Lesnar, but then I would have had prize fighter Kevin Owens beat the streak at 31.
Interesting.
I'd probably agree with Will and say Randy Orton, but just to be different, I am going to go with Sting because I still think that would have been fucking cool. And I don't care what anybody says.
No, I agree.
Cena turning heel by way of breaking the streak would have been fantastic.
Now that would have been cool too, yeah.
Although even though it didn't break the streak, I will say, even though it didn't turn him heel either, but like Roman Reigns beating Undertaker was just fucking. That was great. The next night on Raw when he came out, oh god, that was so good.
Yeah.
He couldn't even open his mouth.
He just stood there. They booed him. They were chanting "Fuck you, Roman," and then when he said, "It's my yard now," oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh
that was
god,
good.
that was so good. Okay.
That was a step away from that building burning down. Like,
yeah.
They were pissed.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, and the next one here is who had the best debuts in WWF or WWE? Max Moon.
My name is Carlito Caribbean Cool.
It looks like we have some trouble in paradise.
Boom, boom, boom.
Even though it turned out to be shit, but Giant Gonzalez had a good debut. Came into the Rumble and just fucked up Undertaker.
Great Khali.
He wasn't even using that music yet.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't even using music yet. They didn't have music for him.
I mean, he beat the shit out of the Undertaker. Like, how much better of a debut can you have?
Yeah.
Really.
AJ Styles.
As much as a joke that was. AJ Styles, yeah. It would have been better if he won the Rumble.
Yeah, we live in the internet age with AJ Styles, and we kind of like, read into that. We kind of saw that one coming.
True.
Yeah, I suppose.
Back in the 90s, we didn't have internet. And when Max Moon shows up, we're like, oh, fuck Max Moon!
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
At least I was. Like, oh, shit, Max Moon, that man can fly! Look at that motherfucker! At least how that's how. Next one here, Andrew. Do you think NBC is going to purchase the WWE outright as being predicted?
Disney is going to do it before NBC does.
God, I hope Disney doesn't buy it.
Yeah.
We think NBC's editing it now. I can't imagine what Disney's going to do.
Yeah. I honestly, when they were doing those talks with New Japan, I thought, fuck, is New Japan interested in it? And could you imagine if New Japan bought it, but didn't make it New Japan America? They kept it WWE, but like sprinkled in a little bit of New Japan, just a little bit to kind of keep it like different, but a little bit more fast paced and a little bit more serious. I think that would have been fucking incredible if they decided to do that, but I think likely it's either going to sell to, Disney or, like he was saying, NBC. Unfortunately.
Why doesn't just Hulk Hogan buy WWE? He has the money.
Does he?
He doesn't.
Yeah, he's got that fat Gawker money now.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. Part of that was on Gawker's bankruptcy. They only had to pay a certain amount to him.
Oh.
He didn't get near what court said he would.
Damn.
because of bankruptcy. Hogan got kind of boned on that. No pun intended. Ish.
All right, and the last one here is kind of screwy, but so stick with me here. You get to go on a date with your favorite diva, but there are conditions. Which do you choose? You can either take her on a date of your choice, but the condition is you have to take a laxative first. Or,
What?
let that sink in for a second. Or, you get to vacation overseas with her in a third world country and must go skydiving and bungee jumping where there are no safety regulations and they use shoddy equipment.
So I'm either gonna have to poop or I'm gonna die. I'm gonna take a have to poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I just hope that toilet flushes.
Yeah. What do you
Like,
care,
I mean,
man?
if
You're at a
Dumb and
restaurant.
Dumber- If Dumb and Dumber taught us anything,
Yeah,
you always got to make sure it flushes,
yeah, but you got
especially if it's a date.
here's the thing though. Okay, you go on a date. Okay, you got to break it down. See, like on my live shows, we play a game called "Would You Press the Button?" and people are just like, "Oh, I'd press this." I'm like, "See, you're not breaking this down. You're quick thinking." So let me break this down to you though. You go on a date. That's just a date. Okay, you take the laxative. All right. So at one point during the date, you're going to be like, "Excuse me for a minute, I have to go to the bathroom." Then you're going to be on the shitter for like 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. Eventually, whoever you're with, so me, for instance, let's say I pick Charlotte Flair because I can't pick Lacey Evans because she's married. Okay. Um, Charlotte's only engaged. There's still time. So Charlotte's going to be sitting there like 15 minutes, like, where the fuck did he go? He said he was going to the bathroom. Eventually, she's going to be like, fuck this. I'm peacing off. And then that's it.
Well,
that's it.
see, that's the thing, though. You have two options there. Either you tell her the truth and be like, I'm sorry, I had to do this. I don't know why I had to do this, but I had to do this. Or you power it and you try and get through the whole date in 5 minutes.
I don't know if you've ever tried I don't know if you've ever tried to hold your shit in with a laxative, but yeah, good luck with that.
It ain't happening.
Like I said, 5 minutes. I think you get it in. I think you get 5 minutes before you got to take a shit.
No, not with laxative. You got 2.
Oh, hey, you know what? Then do it in 2.
Or wait a minute, wait. But here's the vacation though. You get to go on a vacation overseas with her, and you have to go skydiving and bungee jumping where they use shoddy equipment and shit.
In a third world country.
Okay.
No safety regulations.
No safety regulations.
No insurance.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, okay? Yeah, you might die, but you might not either. But she can't run off either. She's on vacation. She's in another country. She can't just hop on a flight and fucking leave.
Yeah, but like diseases.
I would rather shit.
Yeah.
Than death.
I'd rather try the speed dating route. I'll take 2 minutes. I'll see if I can get a number in 2 minutes.
I would rather risk not getting some booty over having to dump than potential death.
Okay, I just wanted to break that down for you there. That's all.
So are you saying you'd rather go to the third world country?
No, I'm just saying. Y'all went right for the laxative thing. I just want to make sure you break it down first,
Oh, we broke it down.
Break it down. All right, and that was the last question here. So finally, let's get to our vintage pick of the week, where we talk about a segment, a match, a pay-per-view, whatever it might be, a promo, whatever it might be here. So, Nick, what's your vintage pick of the week?
It's from TNA Turning Point 2004. Losing team disbands. 6 Sides of Steel. America's Most Wanted versus Triple X.
That's the walk the cage moment?
Yep.
Yeah, I figured. I just like that moment. Like how Elix Skipper didn't become like one of their like faces of the company because of that moment. I'll never understand.
Yeah.
All right, Shelby, what 80s match are you going to make us watch this week?
It's not going to be an 80s match.
God damn it. For the last 2 weeks, it was 80s match, and I didn't say it. Now I said it, and it's not.
So we were talking about matches all night. I've decided on a pay-per-view. And it is going to be a pay-per-view that I was talking to you guys about. Royal Rumble 1998. Vader and Goldust. The 6 midget tag team match that was actually really fucking cool. The Road Warriors and the New Age Outlaws for the World Tag Titles, the Royal Rumble match that Stone Cold wins, and the casket match with Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels for the World Title. Really cool pay-per-view from top to bottom, I thought.
To this day, I always look at that spot where Shawn Michaels hits that casket, and I guess I'd have to live it to understand, but I don't understand how that took him out for 4 years.
I don't think it did. I think, the fact that he wasn't going to be the top guy anymore is what made him not want to wrestle. And you know what?
He was whiny and couldn't get the amount of money he needed for the pills.
When WCW went under and he had no other option anymore and Vince wasn't going to give him the money, all of a sudden he comes back. Because I was thinking the same thing, because I watched that spot and I'm looking at it and like I didn't run it in slow-mo or anything, but I'm like, it honestly doesn't really look like he hit.
He hit it. Like,
did he
hit it? I've seen it. He hits it, but like I'm not saying it probably didn't hurt. I'm not saying that at all. I just don't see how it took 4 years of his career.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumor about the fact that he just said fuck it and that was it, and he wanted to basically retire but get paid by Vince, so he kept just saying I'll go to WCW or whatever, right? And I mean, Nash and Hall were both in WCW, so what would have stopped him really if Vince did stop paying?
Hey, the Somas were coming and steady flow from Milwaukee.
I guess you could say things got a little shaky there for a while. Okay. All right, mine is actually a promo, and it's a very famous promo. I believe it's from... When did the NWO come back?
2002.
2002. So it's around 2002, and that is Hogan, Rock, and Kane. Yeah. So Kane comes in. No, Rock is like hyping up Hogan, and Hogan's just like, "Are you sure about this Kane guy, man?" And I've seen some scary dudes, man, but this guy's scary. And Rock's like, no, he's cool. Don't worry about it, man. And Kane comes in. He's like, look at him. Look, he's cool. And he like kind of lunges at him. And he's like, see, look at him. He's cool. And then all of a sudden, Kane just like breaks into like the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. Where he's like, what are you going to do when the millions and millions of Rock fans and the millions of Hulkamaniacs and the thousands and thousands of Canaanites, and then Rock just looks at the camera and just mouths, Canaanites? Like, what the fuck? Run wild on you! And it just, oh god. It's like the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen.
At first, I thought you were going to talk about the promo that The Rock did with the NWO.
Oh,
which was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Razor Ramon.
Hey, you, Chico, Razor Ramon. First, I want you to turn it sideways, and I want you to give it to your buddy Diesel here. Yeah, Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
It's such a good one. Yeah.
No, The Rock was trying to be a man. Picture for your son. All right. There's the bell, so you know what that means. That signifies the end of the three-way dance here. And next week, unfortunately, I got outvoted, and we're going to be reviewing NXT TakeOver in your house, which...
Yep.
Well, what's the point? There's no Velveteen Dream. So, which is why I didn't want to review it. But I got outvoted. It's a democracy, 2-1. But we are going to be doing that. We're going to be talking about that, so that means I'm going to have to sit and watch it. Yeah. So leave your questions in the comments for the next episode there. And then after that, we are going to be doing a topic that I've been wanting to do since like episode 2. So stay tuned for that one. And so for Shelby and Nick, I am the ArtistVersion1. And remember, be breezy.